This lecture slide is seen. Yes. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So last time we had seen causal, non-causal, linear, variant, and linear, non-variant, time invariant, all those things we had seen linear. Now, time variance, invariance also we had proved how the system can be proved in steps that we had seen. And this time in this lecture, we will see the linear and non-linear systems. What exactly are they and how we can prove that a particular given system is linear or it is non-linear. Okay. So the concept is, if at all the system satisfies a principle called as superposition principle, then it is called as linear system. Now the superposition principle states that the response of a system to the weight sum of signals should be equal to the corresponding weight sum of outputs of the system to each of the individual input signals. Now, this is what the definition is, but what does it mean? Okay, so we will take one conceptual diagram. Okay, here I have taken a conceptual diagram. Now, this is system number one, where the input is having a value x1n. Okay, this is x1n. And correspondingly, I am getting a y1n. Okay, this is one system. I have another system which is having an input x to n. Similarly, I'll have an output which will be y to n. Right? Now, what does the superposition principle says? We have two inputs to two different systems. This is system number 2. Right? We have another system, which what is that? System number 3, where if I multiply this input by one scalar, a1, if I multiply this input by another scalar, and if I take their addition, okay, mind it, the thing is, in the system 1, I had individual input, system 2, a separate input. Now what I have done is, I have tried to obtain one scalar value, a1 x1n plus a2, and I have made the sum of the signals, okay. Now, when I get a response, some response I will get. Suppose this is third system, so I will call it as y of 3n. If this is the system output, what it should be? It should be equal to what? A1, the output of the first system, A2, the output of the third system. I mean, the second system. So in the first system, I'm getting y1. The second system, I'm getting y2. And when I'm taking the input as a sum of the inputs of the individual ones, and I'm getting the sum output, which should be such that this should be equal to the corresponding additions of the individual systems. Okay, so this becomes a y1n. Okay, a1 y1n, y1n. This is a1 into y1n, and this is nothing but a y2n. Are you getting this? So whatever output I will get, this is y2n. y3n I will get. See, when you are operating with some operation on a system, you will get some output. So I have one input, I'm getting the another output. For second input, I'm getting a second output. If I try to add the two inputs and try to get the output, corresponding output, how it will be? It will be the weighted sum of the outputs of individual systems, individual inputs. Is this clear? So the statement says that the superposition principle is nothing but that the response of a system to a weighted sum of the signals means weighted sum of signals means we are talking about Y3N. Weighted sum of inputs म्हणजे you are having A1 is a weight given to it, A2 is another weight given to X2N. So this is the weighted sum of inputs and this is the response. So response to the weighted sum of inputs is equal to, what is that? Equal to the corresponding weighted sum of outputs. This is the weight with Y1, this is the weight with Y2. Is the definition clear? Please reflect. You can reflect, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
I will repeat once again. There is one system and there is another system. In the first system, I have an input. Correspondingly, I am getting an output. Again, second input, the corresponding Y2 input. Now, what is the system? The theorem says, or you can say this principle says, the response of a system, the response of a system to the weighted sum of inputs. Okay, the weights are taken for some like matching purposes. We don't know what are the values of A1 and A2, but somehow we want some ins and outs. Okay, the scalars, they are inserted. So weight with X1, weight with X2. If this weight sum of inputs is giving one output, then this is called as a response. Now this response is equal. What is that? It is equal to the weight sum of outputs, individual outputs, A1yn plus A2y2n. So let us have an example. So this is what the meaning was. What did we do? This y3n in the first case was obtained by equation 1. Sum of the individual, that is nothing but the weight sum of outputs of system 1 given as, okay, you have this equation 1 and weight sum of inputs for the system 1 plus system 2. Then this is actually the third one. Okay, so this equation becomes a second equation. What is that? This one. When they are equal, okay, here individual outputs, what do you call, weight sum of outputs I have taken. I'm getting equation 1. Similarly, what I will do is, my input here is a sum. So accordingly, my operation will be done on the sum of the inputs, right? So this is what is the second equation. Now, with an example, we will see how it will be done. Okay. If they are equal, then we say the system is linear because they are satisfying the superposition principle. Let us have one example. Are you all, if you're having a pen and paper, please take note of this equation. Y of n is equal to x of n plus 1 by x of n minus 1. Probably I have this example also might have been repeated in S&S, but this is a practice. So yn is equal to x of n plus 1 by xn. This is the example given to us. So what is my first step? Find the individual outputs. Find the individual outputs. So y1 is equal to, what will be operation? Some operation on x1n. What is x1n? Now the x1n will be of this form. What is x1n? Here I will take them as x1n and x1n minus 1. Okay. This I will call equation number 1. Now in y2n what I do is, I will again have as operation t on x2n. So how is the operation? The operation is giving me this. See, the operation is giving me this. So the nature is second x2n plus 1 by x2n minus 1. See, this operation is on the second signal. Now how second signal operated will give me this. Just be clear. Okay. Straightway there is no equality actually. X2n, it is obviously you are seeing here everywhere. But we are replacing the nature, this equation, because this is an operation. This is an operation. So I will put this as x2n plus 1 by x2n minus 1. Now this is what is equation 1 and 2. Now I will come to the other part. How to find the output due to the weight sum of inputs, right? The second equation we are trying to have. So how will I notify this? This is 3n. It's an operation on the two signals which are there, weight A1 x1n plus A2 x2n. So this is going to be the weight sum of inputs. Let us see the next one part. So how do I find the output due to the weight sum of inputs? Okay, I'm rewriting this equation because in the last slide I could not have this part. That's why. Now what is this? The sum. So my equation priorly was, sorry. So this one x1n plus 1 by xn. My xn is made up of a1 x1 plus x2n, a2 x2, right? That is what I'm trying to here do. What is this? a1 x1 plus a2 xn, right? Here also I had 1 by xn minus 1, but it is made up of a1 x1n minus 1, a2 x2n minus 1. Now if I am having this equation 3, and if I want to take the weight sum of this, will that be same? Obviously it is not going to be same. Okay, so you just see that they are not going to be, equality is not there. A1 y1n plus A2 y2n is equal to, you just multiply the outputs of the first with A1. See, this was the y1n, right? Then A2 multiplied by the y2 part. Okay, so when you're doing this, you can easily see that this equation is not equal to the 3 equation, right? So this is the weight sum of inputs and individual sums, which are going to be very, very different. So that is why the system is non-linear. Okay, we'll come for some other. So obviously, see, the system is non-linear. Why? Because so the superposition principle is not satisfied. That is why it is going to be non-linear. Let us have another example. I have yn is equal to x square n. When I have the first input, my job is to find the individual, first find the individual outputs. Okay. So y1n, operation on x1n, I will get, what is the nature? It will be, this x becomes x1n square n. What about y2n? This is operating on x2n. I will get x2 square n. Okay. Now these are the individual outputs. Okay. Now what I will do is, I will cover this y3n. What is that? It is the operation on the weight sum of inputs. What is the weight? a1 x1n plus a2 x2n. What is the operation giving me? Operation is giving a square, right? Now x is made up of two x values. X is made up of x1n. See, the a should be here. Okay, a1 x1n plus a2 x1n and the whole square. Can you see this? Obviously, you are having a big difference between them. Now, when I have the addition of this, what happens? Individual addition, a1 y1n plus a2 y1n, multiply this by a1, it becomes a1 x square n, multiply this by a2, you get a2 x2n. Now just see, this is equation 4. Can you see any similarity in this? You don't have any similarity here. So that means they are not equal. Superposition principle is not true. That is why it is a non-linear system. This is another example. Here yn is given as n into x of n. Now let us have the first output, operation on first x signal x1n. So I will replace this operation by the value n x1n, equation number 1. y2n, this is equal to operation on x2, and I'm getting n into x2n. Now these are my two individual outputs. Okay. Now what is my third output? It is the operation on the sum of the individual inputs. Now sum of the operations means my xn will be made up of two values, n into a1 x1n plus n into a2 x2n. So that is very, very clear that how to insert this operation here. Okay, now I will call this equation number 3. Now can you see that if I apply the weight sum of outputs, weight sum of outputs means I will multiply the y1 with a1 and y2 with a2. So a1 y1n plus a2 yn, correspondingly here also I will multiply a1n x1n plus a2n x2n. Now do you think there is similarity here? Yes, this equation is very much similar to this previous equation number 3. That means the superposition principle stands satisfied. Hence, the system is linear. So this is how we try to prove a system whether it is linear or it is non-linear. Okay. Moving on further, we also have conditions to be applied for systems for stability. Now, how to check a system to be stable or unstable? This is very, very simple. Okay, you don't have to worry a lot. There are so many summation signs you see, but there is no point of distraction. It should be. Now here, this is coming from some summations, so we'll just keep it by side. Now I know you have this equation with you. You remember this equation for convolution. Okay, I think this is there. When you have a response of a system means it is equivalent to having a convolution. Okay, when you want to say that it is a response, in other words, you are talking about the convolution sum equation. Okay, so the summation k minus infinity to infinity is nothing but the values which can be moving from minus infinity to infinity. Okay, so for what? H of k, x of n minus k, or you can say x of k, h of n minus k. It's one and the same. You can, because it is linear, it is assumed that it's a linear. See, it's already written linear time invariant systems. So this is a system which we are understanding. In our case, we will study further. All we study will be taken as linear time invariant systems. Now, the step is take the modular value of y of n. Okay, mod of this. Okay, just see, we have the mod here. The mod on the right hand side also will be there. I'll be taking mod here also. When I am taking mod, how it should be? This should be finite. The condition is if it is to be stable, if the system has to be stable, then there are two things to be considered. One is the input has to be summable, also the output has to be summable. So what do you mean by this? Let us check. This summation, I say that it should be something less than some value. We will check that. Now, here this summation is taking you to say that I am going to have the modulus for these values. Now, modulus for this values will be separated. See, separately, it is a product, is it not? The modulus of the product, or you can separate the two modulus and then take the product. Okay. So when this is something less than some value, what is that value? M of s is this value. My input is something less than m of x, or this is an index given to you. So in that it is an input. X of n minus k is coming to be m of x, means some finite value. That means the condition is now applied to where? To this mod. That means my y of n it should be such that it should be less than or equal to mx dot this summation k minus infinity modulus of h of k. That means, what do I mean by these equations? I can say in one word that, in one line that, if a system has to be, if a LTI system has to be stable. I will tell you what is this. It has to be stable. It is sufficient that its impulse response has to be absolutely summable. That means this impulse, now we can change this index and say it is n. I have an impulse response. If I try to do the summation and take the modulus, it should be not infinity, it should be less than infinity. If my impulse response is absolutely summable, that means I'm having a LTI system which is balanced input, balanced output, stable. And what is this necessary condition? The necessary condition is x of n has to be bounded. That means this also has to be bounded because it has to be of some value. Okay, if suppose this is some 8, that means my x of n should be, the mod value of this should be less than 8. Okay, that means if this is true, then only it will be going to be bounded. Probably sometimes even if it is bounded, the impulse response may not be bounded. At that time it will be unstable. So this is the meaning of the stability and the unstable system. And how do you prove this? Let us see with an example. Okay. Now the question is asked as to evaluate the stability of a linear shift invariant. Linearity is there, that is LTI. This is LTI system. In short, we can say it is a linear time invariant system with input impulse samples, input sampling response is given as, what is the input sample response given as? A raised to n u of n. What is our work? See, I can put any name here. You can say y of n or something like that. It is given as S. It should be such that it should be absolutely summable. Okay, it should be absolutely summable. So what do? I take the mod value of this. If I take the mod value of this, what happens? Now this is u of k, means I should start my k from 0. That is done. So this mod of this a of raised to k is nothing but, I'm simply having this equation given as this, you know that 1 by 1 minus mod a. You can understand by those summation series that we can write this 1 by a, and this will converge. When will this converge? When the mod of a should be less than 1. Obviously, if it is less than 1, then only it will be very, very finite. That means my system is going to be balanced input, balanced output. What you have to do is, whatever is the impulse response given to you, check for its condition of summability. That means find this summation sign such that this value should be less than infinity. If it is less than infinity, it is called as balanced input, balanced output. This was one example. We can see that the stable and unstable systems, there are some diagrams. So this is a bounded input. You can see this is decreasing. So somehow it is going to be finite. Okay. We can see this is unbounded. Can you see it is moving? Which one? This one. This is bounded, obviously. This is bounded. This is unbounded, extracting like this, exponentially. Even similarly like this, unbounded. This is going to oscillate. So you can see the oscillations. It has come into oscillations like this. It is going on and on and on. There is no bound. It's endless. So, and then output also has to be, for the bounded input, you should have the bounded output. The output also has to be bounded. Then only you will get a stable output. Bounded is obtained. For bounded input, you get a bounded output, and that is why it's called as a stable system. So it was pictorial method of explaining the thing. We will go for some other examples. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will just start. I'm taking some examples. This we have explained, okay? This is a repeat, okay. There are some linear systems we will talk about. What are the linear, some examples for revision, okay? So that becomes easier for us to keep it in mind. There are some linear systems. See, if you take the what do you call the superposition principle, apply on this, you will see that this is a linear system. This also is a linear system. Okay. Obviously, this has to be linear system. This is also linear system. Okay. Now, but they are all time varying. They are time varying. They are not invariant. They are time varying. If you check the time variance, you can see that it's time varying. Now, what are the examples of nonlinear? You just see whenever there is a square, whenever there is a constant in addition, whenever there is a logarithmic, okay, whenever there is exponential, like this, you say that they are all going to be non-linear. They are all going to be non-linear systems. Okay, all non-linear systems. Now let us check this. Given an operation on a signal xn, yn is equal to an operation on xn, and the output is x of minus n. Whether it is linear or non-linear, let us check how it is done. So I will repeat the steps. What is that y1n? If I take the y1n, the first input will be x1n. So I will get an output x1 of minus n. I will get an input x1n and the output will be x1 minus n. Is that okay? So just see that I have the second input x2n and I can do it the same operation will be there and I will get x2 of minus n. The weight sum of outputs will be what? Obviously a1 into x1n plus a2 into x2 minus n. And I will say this is equation number 1. Already we have done this, is it not? Determine the output of y3 due to the weight sum of inputs. So what was that weight sum of inputs? This is an operation on not on one signal, but the weight given to x1n plus a2 x2n, and you get an operation and you get an output. What is that? Let us see. a1 x1 minus n plus a2 x2 minus n. Is it not? So this is going to be the b. So, and obviously both the equations are same, hence it is going to be a linear. Let us check the linearity check for this. This is a practice example that I have given so that when you solve the assignment, it becomes easier for us. Do you take the xn? The operation here is xn plus n times x of n plus 1. This is the given signal, okay? Xn plus n times x of n plus 1. Now when I'll take individual operation, obviously x1n plus n into x1 n plus 1. When I take the second signal, I have x2n plus n times x2 n plus 1. The weight sum of outputs will be this. The first value will be multiplied by a1, then a1 here also, plus this is the first output, then this is the second output. We have made it one equation. Now I want to find the response of the weight sum of inputs, right? So for the weight sum of wherever there is x, it has to be replaced by a1 x1n plus a2 x2n. Plus here also n into, just see, a1 x1 n plus 1 plus a2 x2 n plus 1. Now when I check and separate them, you see the equations both are same. So they are going to be linear. So even if you add something to the this equation, even if you add something to this, which is linear, the total value will be linear. The system will be linear. Now just check out for the linearity of this n into x raised to. Obviously, this e raised to will never be linear. Let us check again. Let us have this equation. I think you can put it on the paper also. Together you can solve. In the first system output, n into e raised to x1n. Second output, n into e raised to x2n. Now the weight sum of outputs will be multiplied by A1, that is the weight for first system, A2, the weight for the second system, and we add them and keep it as 1. Now what will be the weight sum of output response? Y3n. This is the response to the weight sum of inputs. When I get for this, you just see that this xn will be replaced by A1 x1n plus A2 x2n. Obviously, these two equations are not at all equal. It is very, very easy. That's what I said. Whenever you have exponential signals, by default, they are non-linear. Okay. Check if this signal is. Now, last time in the last slide, I have told you that anything in addition with the signal makes it linear or non-linear. You have to check. Linear or non-linear. What is it? In the first output I will have, what is the first output? 2 times x1n plus 3, and for x2n it is y2n is equal to 2 times x2n plus 3. Now weight sum of outputs. Okay, so multiply this by a1 plus a2 multiply this part, I get this equation number 1 or A. Now the response for the weight sum of inputs. This is the response to the weight sum of inputs. Operation on the inputs. My xn is nothing but 2 times a1 x1 plus a2 x2n plus